Alright, hello everybody and welcome back from the weekend. Hope everybody had a good one. Checking out the ES here first on a weekly and then going to go into the NQ. First off, I think the first thing I need to point out is that the 161.8 of the previous monthly consolidation, we tested it a few weeks back, and this week we pierced it and then finished below it. So as of now, we have a general idea that this level should be respected as a resistance point, 3336.5. Alright, so moving from that point, we have two sets of retracements moving up the chart. The first one is the primary here in pink with the 23.6 at 27.2250, and then we have the shorter term one in blue here with the 23.6 at 31120. So still quite a bit of ways away from that area, so what we can go ahead and do is put a shorter term retracement on from the most recent pullback, which would be here. There we go. And let's just make it yellow and put some retracements on. So this will give us a few points of reference for supports to the downside. So let's go ahead and go into the daily. Alright, so if we're here on the daily, we can see that there is a larger distribution of volume starting to build out in this general range. Actually, we're going to go down into the hourly, 4 hour, just to see a little bit better. Here we go. So the only reason I went down into a different time frame was to get a little bit more specification to the volume bars. The shorter the duration of time frame, the more accurate to a price point the volume profile is. So, you know, going from 1 day to 4 hours, you can see how it changed it. But anyway, this more exemplifies the point of this volume node building out in range. It's not quite the point of control on this chart that we're looking at, but certainly building out as such right now. It runs from about 33.20 up here into about 33.30, so closing price on Friday was within that range. We'll have to see how we open, obviously. And then we can go ahead, and if we were playing in, you know, the shortest term here, or my shortest term, then the chart will look something like this. So then you have the shorter term 23.6 at 33.23.5. You can see how close those nodes are just by moving the chart, just that, you know, that little bit, that fractional bit. So anyway, so all we need to know here is that 33.23.5 has a very large build of volume. It also has a retracement point. What we also need to recognize from this chart is that there is known resistance 13 points above price that has continued to act as resistance in the last few bars here. So we need to recognize that price point. And we should also realize that there is quite a bit of a null below price. We had these big expansion bars on the way up, news related and such, but as a result, the structure is very poor from about 33.02 all the way into about 33.23. So if we do start to see, you know, a few new bad news prints, or you know, whatever causes us to slip into this null, whether it be just through common flow or news or whatever it is, there's that risk below price of about 20 points or so. Really would try to catch anywhere in between 32.90 and 33.02, I think. And then if we lose that, there is this last extension that needs to fold all the way down here into the short-term 61.8 at 32.68 quarter. And then that repairs most of the structure on this 4 hour chart. Not saying that it has to be repaired, and in this general market, we don't usually get pullbacks deeper than the 38.2. So not really looking for this to occur, but at least we know it's there and we know the risk. So to the upside, if this area holds market open, we can do a retracement such as this. It's really short. Generally the short-term ones, I'll just do 38.2 and 61.8. But this will give us additional levels to the upside. So first upside target, if support holds up here at 3335, pairs really well with that 161.8 at 3336 half. and then above that 33.43.5, and then the all-time high. Above the all-time high, short-term target is 33.80.5. So that gives us some reference points moving forward into next week for the ES. Let's go ahead real quick. I was just going to try to expand this so you can see them all. So there you go. Those are our leveled reference points moving forward for at least the coming week. So, all right, into the, let's save it first. All right, into the NQ. The NQ has been outpacing the ES lately. In terms of percentage points, the NQ, let me delete this guy real quick. So the containment of range that we did on the ES that we are coming up to, or we're stuck underneath the 161.8 of, the 161.8 of the same range on the NQ is all the way back here at 8,900. So obviously NQ trading 9,400, so outpacing, at least on a percentage basis, the ES. Next resistance point on the NASDAQ is the 200 of that containment, I think, because I haven't put these on yet. Sorry, bear with. Oh, okay, so I was a little off. There is a pair of retracements here at 93.97. Let's go ahead and zoom in, or go into the other term. Here we go. That's a little bit easier. All right, so now we can see what we're talking about. Next target up here, the 200 at 96.37. Currently getting support from this double retracement here on the daily. Rejected, looks like twice, and then acceptance of price, and then backtest holding for now. So 30 or 93, 97, 93, 90, somewhere in there. So long as that area holds, looking for a push up here into the 200 of the longer term at 96.37. If we wanted to check shorter term retracements for the NQ supports, oops, range, not extension. And let's just go, and let's go into the hourly chart, or well, let's go 4-hour chart. All right, there we go. All right, so this is the 4-hour chart on the NQ. Again, we see that this cluster of 261.8s is supportive on the last 3 measures of the day, or the last 3 counts of the day at 4 hours, so 12 hours. Upside target would be, I mean, you could go as short term as doing something like this, whereas, you know, the 38.2 right here at 941775 is already acting as resistance off the bottom. You can see it tested that price on Friday at the high of the bounce. But anyway, additional short-term targets would be 438.25 and then 471 at the all-time high. And then short-term breakout is 95.24. Let's go ahead and delete that and look and just see how the downside is on this as well. I think it's a lot more structured than the ES, if I remember. Yeah, so the close is to here, since it's the backtest of the previous all-time high. So the risk on the NQ is down here into 92.65 from 9400 close, 140 or so points. So what is that? Sorry. I don't know why my calculator always starts off screen. So yeah, 1.5% or so. Possible to the downside to close the NQ gap. So these are the price points that we'll be looking at and forward this coming week. Let me go ahead and put that last one on. There we go. And we'll just turn it yellow so everybody knows. Cool. All right, so those are the NQ price points. I do follow a couple people or a couple modules or builds or whatever you want to call it that have don't really have this as being like a real rally. It's kind of interesting. VIX is kind of still held its own, so to speak. I'll go ahead and check that out. VIX still, you know, for being at all-time highs, VIX still holding 15 is rather interesting to me. I wish I had my other chart. It's on my Thinkorswim platform. But if we do a short-term retracement on the VIX, we see that the 61.8 of that range from the low in November up here into the highs of 3/1 Jan is holding the 61.8 at 14.7. So risk still on in the short term, I think, or volatility still on in the short term while that level holds. If we start to see a push below that 14.7, I'll come off of, you know, that little bit of protection that I've been carrying around. But until that happens, I think we're kind of open to some shorter term down moves. I just don't know how they'll come, and I'm still going to play the charts how the charts say to be played, which is to the upside. But until we see the VIX move back below that area, I'm just going to continue to carry a little bit of a protection just to make sure. So going to go through some sectors and such and individual stocks, and then I will post those as well. Have a good day.